Thank you, Master of Ceremony and distinguished judges. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone. My name is Mai Hasegawa. I'm from Okayama, and I live in Tokyo now. I like singing, and I'm good at taking selfies. Nice to meet you today. Oops, I forgot to tell you one more thing. Actually, I'm Korean. 오늘은 짭딱합니다. This is how I introduce myself to others. But when I say I'm Korean, living in Japan, so-called Zainichi Koreans, some people suddenly change their attitude, or even they dislike me by saying, "Oh, so you are Korean, not Japanese." How did you feel when I said I'm Korean? Maybe some of you felt distance between you and me. So today, I would like everyone to regard Chinese Koreans as people living together in Japan, without having any prejudice. Someday, I hope both Japanese and Chinese Koreans can live in harmony by respecting each other's ideas, culture, and existence. Eventually, I hope not only Chinese Koreans, but also other foreign people in Japan can live happily together. Some of you may think, I don't have prejudice to Koreans, but we all should face this problem as people living together in Japan. In Tokyo and Osaka, about 1 out of 100 people is Zainichi Korean. This means more than one of your friends can be Chinese Koreans. However, there is some distance in our hearts that is unnecessary between Japanese and Chinese Koreans. Those Koreans live in Japan with you, but at the same time, they are suffering from prejudice by what they are born with. Here's a prejudice that I experienced. Last year, I participated in a lecture held by Mindan, a Korean resident union in Japan. Chinese Koreans university students gathered and studied about Chinese history. However, a month later, I found a website which had hateful comments towards Korean people in the lecture that said, "Zainichi, you don't have any future. Go back to Korea." Studying, being interested in culture, and enjoying chatting with friends, just like what other university students in Japan do. All the things that I do in my daily life were denied by those hateful comments. I was born and grew up in Japan. The place where I go back to is in Japan, not in Korea. But being Korean is part of my identity that I can't lose. When I was 20 years old, I wore both Japanese furisode and Korean chimachogori. Both cultures have made what I am today. I'm proud of being Korean. However, every time I see hateful comments, I feel the dilemma of being Japanese and Korean. Who am I? I often ask myself, and I sometimes feel I'm neither Korean nor Japanese, although I have both identities myself. These feelings are not only unique to me, but also to other Zainichi Koreans. Why? Why does a prejudice happen towards Zainichi Koreans? The main reason is that people are influenced by rumors such as hateful comments without knowing well about us. Also, people tend to see history only through one perception. Some people don't even understand why Chinese Koreans live in Japan. They misunderstand us as outsiders who shouldn't be Japan. So lack of knowledge and lack of interaction with Chinese Koreans have made the wall named prejudice. Imagine if you were bullied by people around you where you have spent your entire life. You must be sad and wonder, why? However, this is happening to us Zainichi Koreans. Each of our background is different between Japanese and Zainichi Koreans, but this difference shouldn't be used to judge people. There is no reason to have prejudice by our origin or background. Now, why don't you step forward and end having prejudice? We should all accept Chinese Koreans as people living together in Japan, at present and in the future too. So from now on, why don't we start a direct communication? If you meet with Chinese Koreans, please have courage to forget prejudice once and do not hesitate to communicate with them. You can learn more about Chinese Koreans by talking with them. For example, some of my friends asked me, "You speak Japanese fluently and your name is Japanese. Do you have Korean name?" Then I explained my background, and they noticed something new about Chinese Koreans and said, "Oh, I didn't know about the history. Thank you, Mai." When I talk like this with my friends, I feel we took a step forward for living together in Japan. Also, to create a direct communication, both Japanese and Chinese Koreans should step forward. Chinese Koreans also should be brave enough to say, "I'm Korean, living in Japan." I know it's difficult, but that is why this issue still exists. So taking a step from both sides are needed. And therefore, I'm making this speech. We all have the right to live happily together, and we have the responsibility to realize a society. Through direct communication, I'm sure that both Japanese and Chinese Koreans can gradually understand each other and reduce prejudice that was a wall between you and us. So today, as a first step, why don't we have some conversation together at the reception? Now, if I say, "I'm Korean, living in Japan," I hope you won't change your attitude to me. And I strongly hope that all Chinese Koreans can proudly say, "I'm Korean, living in Japan," in your future. I'm Korean, living in Japan. I hope this phrase will be the trigger to make our society a better place for more diverse people to live together. Thank you for listening.